the screen. Yay, I made it. Okay. All right. So this is my little cheat sheet. This is my little cheat sheet. And let's let my camera lighting, all of that catch up to me. Let's see. All right. So too much lighting. So we have to turn it down just a little bit. Okay. So there's been some events. Okay. So y'all know that Andrew Berry is supposedly expected to make this jaw-dropping move, right? And if you look at the thumbnail, I'm like, okay, well, when I think in terms of the Browns and I think jaw-dropping move, I think you must be getting ready to trade either Deshaun or Shedeur, because Dylan is not a jaw-dropping move. If you acquire Kyler Murray or Geno Smith for the league minimum, that's not a jaw-dropping move. It's not. And today it was said that we didn't get Mike Evans. Mike Evans signs with the Niners. Malik Willis signed with Miami. Tua went to the Falcons. And guess what? The Browns, who said they were prioritizing Devin Bush, let him walk. Is that the jaw-dropping move? Because I don't know why Devin Bush is now a Chicago Bear. I find that to be a very, very, very interesting move. Let me know how y'all feel about that. But Devin Bush is no longer with the Bears. I mean, with the Browns. He's with the Bears. And Devin Bush was good. It's something about that transaction that I'm have to put a pin in, because I find it very interesting that, Devin Bush was in Cleveland with the, with the Browns doing had the domestic violence thing, and that came to an end in December. The case was supposed to be postponed again, but somehow it was suddenly dismissed, and now he was supposed to be a priority. Again, they got egg on Mary Cabot's face because she was out here while this man, it was announced on one channel that he was going to the Bears. She was posting that he's a priority. And I'm like, I think they're trying to set you up, lady. I'm pretty sure between you and Andrew Berry, they're trying to make y'all look like y'all don't know what's going on. So Devin Bush is gone. Now Devin Bush is gone, and we get somebody else. We didn't get a receiver today. I told y'all they kind of have a guy who didn't play in the league last year on reserve, which means they probably going to use some of that free agent money to keep him, but he's going to go through training camp first. It's now being discussed that Cornell Tate probably won't be the first round pick. It might be an O lineman. Now, what did the Browns do today? It wasn't jaw-dropping. They replaced Wyatt Teller with a player named Zion Johnson, who's from the Chargers. Now, what about this move? It's not jaw-dropping. So I still haven't seen the jaw-dropping. It's the end of the day. So I don't know if it's going to be the end of free agency before we see the jaw-dropping move. But let's talk about the O-line, since we now have another person on the O-line. So just the cap. No receiver. Devin Bush is now a Chicago Bear. We didn't get Mike Evans. We didn't get Malik Willis. We didn't get Tyler Limbaum. We didn't get Isaiah Likely. We didn't sign DeAndre Hopkins. So the priority is supposed to be what? We're supposed to prioritize the O-line and the wide receivers. So weapons and protection, right? Now, I think I read quickly before it started that we reacquired somebody who was with the Browns that ended up in Atlanta, a defensive end, and he's coming back to Cleveland. Again, that's not jaw-dropping. Let me tell you what jaw-dropping is. Jaw-dropping is if these two knew something, like I said, because they can negotiate with agents. The teams can negotiate with agents. And all of this restructuring, because nothing jaw-dropping is happening, all the good people are being snapped up. The jaw-dropping is if Deshaun moves on, and it's yours, buddy. Let me know your thoughts, because people are saying if Andrew Berry's making a jaw-dropping move, he better hurry up, because all the good people are being snapped up. So what do y'all think the jaw-dropping is if it's not Deshaun, and if it's not out of the total blue, Shedeur being moved elsewhere? That's jaw-dropping to me. You let me know your thoughts. All right, so let's get over here to this O-line, because I've been researching. I've been looking into the new guy, Zion Johnson. He came from the Chargers. The first thing I did immediately was to read about him. And first and foremost, he replaced Wyatt Teller. So he's a right guard, or they just got listed as a guard. And his last quarterback was Justin Herbert. So I went over and looked, and let me tell you what jumps out about this, guys. He's good for run blocking, but it's documented that he struggled badly with pass blocking, and his PFF score did not all that great. And I'm like, why are we getting these people? So let me look at Justin Herbert, see how many times he was sacked. I think Justin Herbert was sacked 54 times in the regular season. And when they played the Patriots, he was sacked 6 times in that game alone. Now, Justin Herbert clearly is a trooper because he still managed to find a way to get 24, 26 touchdowns on the season with being sacked 50 to 60 times. That's third in the NFL behind Geno Smith and Cam Ward. And this is who you want to get. Somebody who can't protect the quarterback. Now, they like to say he's only responsible for the 3. I'm sorry. I just either the whole O-line was letting him get teed off on, or it's more than 3. Because this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. And to the person who posted that it was just 3 times he allowed sacks, I said Justin Herbert was sacked 54 times in the regular season alone. That's atrocious. And this is who you want to get. So then you see right here at right tackle, that's what Titus can play left tackle or right tackle. But Titus might actually be the right tackle, right? Who was his quarterback? C.J. Stroud. And C.J. Stroud's sophomore season, which Shedeur was coming into, C.J. was sacked 52 times. So we have acquired O-linemen that had their quarterbacks. They were on the line when they were sacked 54 and 52 times, respectively. Justin Herbert and C.J. Stroud. Now, while C.J. Stroud was only sacked 23 times in his junior year, you can't overlook last year. You can't, because that was ridiculous, right? And where did we get Cam Robinson from? The Texans. So we got C.J. Stroud, former lineman, Cam Robinson. C.J. Stroud was sacked 54 times before Cam came over to 52 times before Cam came over to the Browns. Now we have Titus Howard. C.J., even though it said Titus didn't give up any sacks, C.J. was still sacked 54 times and 24 when he was over there. And then 23 last time after Cam Robinson left. And then Zion Johnson, Justin Herbert sacked 54 times. So do we go out and look for people who quarterbacks failed? And that's what we're doing? Explain it. I want y'all to know. You can look up teams that are good, and their O-linemen have like 80s for PFF. The Browns keep acquiring people with 50s and 60s. Seriously. And paying them good money. Titus Howard contract is $63 million. Zion Johnson's contract is $49 million. Both for 3 years. Now, y'all know that second year after that third year could go a throwaway. But his guaranteed is $45 million. $45 million guaranteed. So we signed him, and the cap space was $45 million. Is this the jaw dropper? They have $45 million in cap space. They signed this guy for $49 million. This can't be the jaw dropper. I mean, it's a slap in the face to Wyatt Teller, right? Then again, if he end up somewhere else, it's not. Let's see if he's still in the league. But what do y'all think about this? So TBR is to be replaced. Cam Robinson should be replaced, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's still over there. Joel Bitonio should be replaced, to be replaced. TBR is for me. I say these guys need to be replaced, either posted, replaced. So we spent 63 and 49, which is really 60 and 50. We have spent $100 million on 2 linemen, and we need 5. So the first round pick could go to a lineman to replace probably Cam Robinson, maybe, or a second rounder. I think they have 2 first round picks. Let's see if they get 2 linemen out the draft. Tyler Lindbaum went to the Raiders from the Ravens with Munkin for $81 million. So his whole contract is the price of 2 of these for the most part, right? probably more than 1.5 times their salaries. Like when you combine their salaries, it's 100 million. Tyler Limbaum's contract by himself was 81 million. So he clearly was valued, and we clearly are shopping fire sales. Make it make sense. So that's what they did today. Not much. They let the good people get away. And this is the same thing that is happening, man. When I tell y'all Baltimore, if y'all haven't heard about Baltimore, I posted in the comments, Baltimore just told the Browns, hold my beer. People were expecting the Browns to make moves today. They didn't. I said they must be waiting for the Browns, for the Ravens. The Ravens got rid of their punter, went to the Giants. Isaiah Likely went to the Giants. Tyler Limbaum went to the Raiders. They sent one of their best running backs that's not Derrick Henry, Mitchell. They sent him elsewhere. That's 4 people. That's 4 or 5 moves because I'm probably missing somebody. They are gutting their offense and the punter. They are gutting their offense, and they're doing all of this on day one. And the Browns haven't really done anything but get a guy that just left the Chargers where Herbert was sacked 54 times. And it's documented. He struggled badly at pass blocking. So while the Ravens are the worst offender, I'm sorry. The Ravens not right. This is supposed to be coming up on Lamar Jackson's extension. I said, are they trying to tell him he might want to leave? Because would you want an extension now that they have taken away your protection and your weapons? Would you want the extension? Would you want to stay in Baltimore? Everything was up when it was Huntley was being re-signed. And I was thinking to myself, yeah, they probably re-signed him because they have plans to use him. Now, 4 or 5 guys, some of their best assets, they chose to keep Derrick Henry and get rid of Mitchell. Mitchell's good. They got rid of Likely. Likely was better than Andrews, and Likely was 25. Andrews is 30. So while asinine of the day, donkey of the day, doesn't go to the Browns, I'll give you that. It goes to the Ravens. I'm like, Lamar, these people are trying to tell you. Remember how this message was put out? If you want to win, get to the Super Bowl or something like that, you got to work in the offseason, the non-mandatory period. For what? What would he come in for now? There's no incentive for him to come in when it's not mandatory, because now, I mean, you look like you trying to rebuild the offense. And Monken didn't get none of those people. I'm like, so either you were not a good coach, or for some reason you don't want to bring the best people from the Ravens with you. Let me see what y'all thinking, because this is crazy. Donkey of the day goes to the Ravens. This is an embarrassment. It's like they're trying to make Lamar think, you know what, just maybe in free agency, look somewhere else. Remember, don't forget, 32 teams passed on Lamar in free agency before. So basically, we got a guy. We got two linemen whose quarterbacks were sacked excessively. And we still got 3 more to go. And we've already spent $100 million on linemen. So the rest must be coming from draft picks. And it must be one, because I'm thinking Batonio must going to be over there. Free agency starts on Wednesday. Let's see. Let's see if Batonio gets a check. He should be gone. I've said it before. Batonio should be gone. So with this being the case, $100 million in linemen and two out of the 5, we got 3 more to go. It's anticipated Andrew Berry is going to make a jaw-dropping move. What is it? It's got to be the quarterback. And Kyler Murray is not jaw-dropping because he's on a league minimum. That's $1 million. The fact that they didn't sign Kyler Murray on a league minimum like that is shocking. You think that would have happened today? Geno Smith has been around longer. His league minimum is a little more. They didn't snap up either quarterback that's on a league minimum for $1 million. and y'all have a jaw-dropping move to make, it's got to be Deshaun. It's got to be. And that would be, I was right when I said this meant something. They knew that meant they knew something. And Quincy Carrier, the guy that I talked about earlier, who posted that all of these restructures with Denzel and Deshaun signal a trade. Because you just freed up 45 million in cap space. Did you use it on this one guy for 49 million? Is that what happened? Let me know your thoughts. All right. So I'm hopping over to the comments because I want to see what y'all thinking. I've been dropping notes for y'all in the letting y'all know what's going on in the community. Start looking for some shorts. Welcome to the Flyest Show on the planet. Thank you. Hey there. How you doing, Jam? It said Okies. Welcome. Good evening. Nice outfit. Thank you so much. It said I told you that Stefanski was getting tour. Oh, that was you, Roger. I was trying to figure out on an earlier podcast who told us. Yes, you did. And Dylan is on his way to Atlanta. Stefanski is stuck on Dylan, and he has to prove that he was right drafting him in the 3rd round. Okay, so let's talk about that. Okay, shout out to Roger. On the earlier podcast, I said somebody in the community told us that Tua was going to Atlanta. Shout out to you. You were right. So that was Roger. Okay, so now that we know Tua has signed a 1-year deal with the Falcons, and one fan was cussing in Spanish. That was hilarious. They were dissing the signing in Spanish. I was like, oh my God. And people are like, Atlanta, what are y'all doing? I say, y'all better get ready. See, we try to tell you they making some boneheaded moves over there. Are the Falcons signaling that they're not trying to win this year? They're going to lean on that. We're in a rebuild, and they're going to let Tyler Shaw, like I predicted, go ahead and get the division. I haven't heard anything out of the Saints. I don't know what they got going on. But now that we know Tua is over there, people are like, well, the Falcons have 2 left-hand quarterbacks, Michael Penix Jr. and Tua. I'm like, well, that's interesting because it's Tua the Browns Dylan. Is Tua the Falcons Dylan now? Because, and what the hell does it mean if Dylan does end up over there? That Michael Penix Jr. going to have to compete with Tua and with Dylan because Stefanski refuses to acknowledge that Michael Penix Jr. is QB1. And here's the thing. Are you expecting to win something with Tua after he was dismissed from Miami with a $99 million dead cap space? Mind you, I already gave out my donkey of the day. My asinine move of the day goes to the Baltimore Ravens for gutting their offense when they're getting ready to negotiate with 2-time, 3-time MVP Lamar Jackson. Gutted the offense, moved off of the coach and the offensive coordinator, fired the defensive coordinator, so they in a rebuild. That's what that is. Now, somebody said the Ravens fans are panicking. I'm like, no, they're not. Not only did they move off of those 4 people, they gave away their first-round pick for 2027. So they don't want no parts of winning. Unless they finna load up in this draft, which means they rebuilding. They don't want no parts of winning. Donkey of the day goes to the Baltimore Ravens for gutting its offense when you have a 3-time MVP. That's what it is. Tell me that makes sense. Then second place donkey of the day. I don't know if it should go. I think it should go to the Falcons. Should it go to the Falcons or the Browns? The Browns didn't really do anything. I mean, they gave away Devin Bush, which don't make no sense because they had him as a priority. So there's something going on there. I'm convinced there's something going on there. And we signed a quarterback that came, signed a lineman that came from a team where his quarterback was sacked 54 times. And then the Falcons signed Tua for 1 year. So who gets the donkey of the day? Second place. Is it the Falcons or is it the Browns? Let me know. So I'm looking at the Falcons moves in free agency, right? Not the Falcons, the Ravens moves in free agency, so I can get all these people out because y'all not gonna believe this. We know they got Max Crosby, but he on defense, right? They said acquired from the Raiders in the biggest trade, Max Crosby, in franchise history for 2026 and 2027 first round picks. And then it said John Simpson is a guard, signed a 3-year, $30 million deal to return to Baltimore, addressing a critical need at guard, but they let Lindrum walk. Tyler Huntley, QB, re-signed to a 2-year, $5 million contract. Shout out to Tyler Huntley to remain the primary backup to Lamar. So they must be moving off of Cooper Rush. So Tyler Huntley has earned QB2. That's what it is. Okay, all right. Key departures. Okay, so that's Max Crosby, John Simpson, and Tyler Huntley. That's 2 offensive talents and 1 defender. Okay. Key departures. This is the legal tampering period known as a negotiation period. That's what I call it. Tyler Lindrum signed for $81 million. Now he's the highest paid interior offensive lineman. He didn't come with Monken over to the Browns. Instead, we got 2 people. One struggled with run blocking, and the other one, Titus Howard, struggles with run blocking. He had a 55, and the new guy, was it Zion Johnson, struggles with the pass blocking. Wow, Tyler Lindbaum goes to live his life with $81 million in the Raiders. So that's Tyler. Then we got Isaiah Likely signed a $40 million, up to $47 million with incentives with the Giants. Then they got the punter, John Stout, also went to the Giants for $12.3 million on a 3-year deal. Then they got DeMont Jones. He was on defense, signed a 3-year deal, $39 million with the Patriots. Then we have Charlie Kolar, tight end, joined the Chargers on a 3-year deal and $24 million. So they got rid of a tight end, 2 tight ends. They got rid of Charlie and Isaiah Likely. They got rid of the punter and the center. Oh, and don't forget Mitchell. They let him go. That I don't know why that didn't make his. I think Mitchell was on the list as well. Mitchell was the running back, and I don't know if he was going to be the one, but apparently they have some interest at keeping Derrick Henry at the 1, so they got rid of Mitchell, who's good. He wasn't on there, but he should be because he gone. They definitely get donkey today. I mean, honestly, if you look at the Ravens and you look at the fact that they were this close and now they just blew it all up. Actually, that's exactly what the Browns have done. The Browns were this close. Number 2 defense. I already have Shedeur as a quarterback or Deshaun, but they're not going to let him play. So instead, I blow it all up. But I don't get no receivers. I don't get a Tyler Lindbaum, who was coached by Monken. I get 2 guys who came from teams where their quarterbacks were sacked 54 and 52 times, respectively. While Tyler Lindbaum gets $81 million to go beat Fort Knox for Mendoza. And the Ravens, Lamar, I don't know. They giving away their first round picks like crazy over there for next year and some of the picks this year. So what they gonna do? Let's see who they get. Shout out to LeJohntay and Huntley. I think LeJohntay might be wide receiver 1 because they're not bringing DeAndre Hopkins back. That's another person. That's an asset for them that was underutilized. That could come over to the Browns, but they didn't want to get no wide receivers. Is that why we saw Jerry Jeudy? They're going to keep Jerry Jeudy. They're going to keep Batonio. They're going to keep Blake Whiteheart. They're going to keep Brenda Bates. They're going to keep Canales. We got these 2 new guys on the end for $100 million. Let's see if we pick spend a draft pick on a wide receiver or a lineman. Because Andrew Berry is expected to make a jaw-dropping move, and I didn't see it today. I'm thinking the jaw-dropping move is Deshaun being traded. Meaning Quincy Carrier was spot on correct. So thank you. Shout out to the Flyers chat. It said it may involve Myles Garrett. Now, you know what? It could. Now, that's facts. We talked about that. We talked about, is Myles Garrett going? Notice I didn't say gone. I said going because it looks like something's going on here. And we said the Seattle Seahawks have cap space to absorb his contract. So Deshaun and Shedeur could be right there, and Myles Garrett could be gone. which would definitely give the Browns donkey of the day for the day that deal happens. So you're right. It definitely could be. It definitely could be Myles Garrett, because that's the one we're hearing all the chatter about. That's it's not a good situation, etc. Do you think AB is preparing to draft Tate from Ohio State and an O lineman? He can, but remember they want draft capital next year, and they haven't drafted a wide receiver in 10 years in the first round. So I don't think it's Tate. Not the way they get these linemen on the cheap. I mean, come on. I just pointed out to you without saying Tyler Linderbaum gets $81 million, and these two got to split 63 and 49 rather than 81-81. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like, neither one of them, to be honest with you, their quarterbacks both had severely excessive sacks. They're linemen out here with 80s for PFFs. They could get one of them, but they didn't. So what that tells me is they probably going to keep Cam Robinson and use those picks and trade them. They could. They could take all those first round picks this year and bundle them up, because Ty Simpson is not a first round pick. Cornell Tate was the only first round pick, and I don't think they're interested in getting a receiver with that pick. I think if they use that first round pick, it could be a lineman. We'll have to take a look as a community to see who are the top linemen out here on another podcast, because I figure we're doing the free agency right now, but we'll look in the draft and see who the top linemen coming out in the draft, so I can see who's who and make a prediction based on the Browns' habits and behaviors, because now you see these linemen are being valued. Well, at least Tyler Linderbaum is, right? I mean, shout out to, Titus Howard. He said he kind of knew it would happen, the trade, because they want to get younger. So they don't see him on the younger side. And the Browns are actually on the record saying they want to get younger. Where? You got both of these guys. Well, Zion, I think he's 4 years. And Titus was maybe 7, something like that. So Titus said he knew that the trade was coming because he understands they want to get younger. So that means the Browns are not getting younger at the right tackle or the left tackle. And Zion is not good at the pass. And I don't know why we would get somebody. I said the same thing about Titus. Why we can't get somebody that's good at both? It's like we picking and choosing. It's like, okay, Titus is good at the pass blocking, but he's not good at the run blocking. And Zion is okay at the run blocking, but it says his weakness is the pass blocking. Why would you get him? I said the same thing about Tyler. Why would you get him, and why would you give them all this money? Even though it's more money to be given, because $81 million for Tyler. But the point is $63 million for somebody that's good at pass blocking, but not at the run. So what is that going to look like on the line? It's asinine. So the Browns get asinine donkey today, second place. And the Falcons get third. So there you go. I just answered the question. So the Baltimore Ravens are the absolute donkey of the day. And the Cleveland Browns, for letting Devin Bush walk, and bringing in a second lineman who is deficient at the pass block, and one is deficient at the run block, for $100 million almost in total, is asinine. So they are in second place, and the Falcons just trash. So they in third place. They ain't just third place. Because we know the Falcons, I'm calling it the Falcons straight trash. I think the Falcons and the Ravens and the Browns have the same agenda, not to win. They are not strategizing to win. All three. And let's see where all three end up. Now, remember, the Browns and the Ravens in the same division. So that gives the Steelers and Cincinnati an opportunity. And if Myles Garrett leaves, they are letting Joe Burrow live, because Joe Burrow will be staring down Myles Garrett, Max Crosby, and somebody else over there. Maybe Hayward or somebody, I don't know. Somebody else. And who's Pittsburgh? Who that quarterback going to be? Because Aaron Rodgers is listed as in free agency, and I already heard him say he don't want to go back over there. Somebody thought he might end up in Minnesota. I shared who the top quarterbacks are now that Malik Willis is gone. Kyler Murray and Geno Smith. The top veterans are Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers and somebody else. Oh, Flacco. Oh, no, Kirk Cousins. I think Kyler Murray and Geno Smith are the top because they played this year. I don't know why they're the top other than they have the league minimum. I shared that on X, but they're considered the top. And then the veteran talent, which I think they will qualify for that, falls into Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers and Kirk Cousins. Now, if the jaw dropping move is to bring Kirk Cousins to the Browns, but are we out of cap space since we got the one guy for $49 million? Yes or no? Let me know. Okay. All right. So I don't think AB is getting, I think he might get a lineman. I don't think he's getting Cornell Tate, but I could be wrong. That's just my thoughts based on what I'm seeing. They don't seem to be prioritizing a wide receiver. They could have got somebody today. Again, all of the day one people are gone. All of the best people are gone. And I saw Barry Cabot say something about good wide receivers aren't in free agency. Is she right? Not that I care to discuss it. I think my stomach just turned a little bit when I said that. Myles Garrett. Okay, so they thinking Myles Garrett is a jaw-dropping move. Good evening, Donna. Welcome back. It says Stefanski needed another lefty because he is not going with Penix. It said he'll use Tua for 1 year to make an opening for Dillon the following year. Okay, Roger. So you think Dillon is hard and fast going to Atlanta? Okay. All right. So y'all know who said it. Just in case I ask, who said it? It's Roger. Roger said Dillon is going to the Falcons probably for a late round pick, probably a fifth rounder because, Andrew Berry liked those fifth round picks. Could be a fourth rounder just so he don't end up in the fifth round like they had Shedeur. So Dillon just going to be over there collecting the check because Tua would be expected to compete with Dillon for the backup. Or y'all are saying Tua is going to be the starter and Michael Penix Jr. going to be the 2 and Dillon going to be the 3. Okay. The Falcons, I don't know if I'll be watching them, but, I'm definitely paying attention. I guess I follow some of those people. I'm going to check in tonight and see what the Falcons people are saying. The first comments that came out, the first one I saw was in Spanish, and I was laughing because they were like, you really about to get Tua for 1 year when you got Michael Penix Jr. and who else they had? Somebody else. Emery, somebody? They were like, why would you get him? That's the same question I have about the linemen. All this talent out here. It's like the Falcons are stacking to lose. The Browns are stacking to coast and be mediocre. And the Ravens not trying to win. I think the Ravens might be trying to, before they get to contract extensions with Lamar, maybe suggest since we good at the offense, you go ahead on and leave. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Remember, they already asked him where he wanted to be traded to last time in free agency. It said, remember, player contracts affect other players' contracts too. That's true. AB, start preparing your resume. That's what I say. I'm like, does Andrew Berry know that Andrew Berry and Mary Cabot for sure look like they trying to push them out. And I think I know those two are kind of cozy from what I have seen. They friends or something like that. And I think they're trying to get rid of both of them. It wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me at all because remember, they're gearing up for 2027. So moving Andrew Berry and making Mary Cabot embarrass herself. I mean, as she is actually posting, they are prioritizing Devin Bush. As it is said he is a Chicago Bears. I'm like, but they did that to her in free agency. I remember specifically, she kept talking about all of this stuff they were going to do. So she's wrong. Every time they make her wrong. And I'm thinking they telling her these things and switching up. Because where's she getting this information from? And they said Stefanski last year, but it didn't help her because they did nada in free agency. And as far as I'm concerned, they had done nothing yet but let Devin Bush walk, no receivers, and the line bringing people to pacify. You didn't get the best lineman. You got linemen that came from teams whose quarterbacks were sacked excessively. 54 and 52 times. Hey, Pamela, how you doing? AB better start praying. Right. He needs to start packing. He needs to start packing. He needs to start packing. That's what I'm thinking. The jaw dropper might be the Browns are going to sign a big name wide receiver or they're going to trade Myles Garrett. So you don't think it's the quarterbacks. Okay, so y'all think I think y'all might be, it might be right on Myles Garrett. Y'all might be right on Myles Garrett because the two stories that I reported on that came out, I feel like both of them were by Yahoo Sports. But the first person that spoke out said he felt like they were moving on from him because they haven't heard from him. And remember, they put that story out about his speed tickets. They only do that when they pissed at him. So maybe they hadn't heard from him, but they put out a speed ticket again to show you in town, but you're not responding. And then the second story was the trade. That a trade is suggested that they're moving on from him, that Seattle can handle his. I mean, to put it out there that Seattle, there's a team. See, that's all you need. You just need a team that can absorb his contract. Now, mind you, Miami taking a $99 million dead cap space. They're going to split it up in 2 years, but the point is they moved off of Tua. This is why I think they could move off of Deshaun. Would Deshaun being traded be a jaw dropper? Or would Myles Garrett being traded be the bigger jaw dropper? I don't think getting a wide receiver is a jaw dropper. A veteran wide receiver, I don't. If they ain't want Mike Evans and he was number 2, Tyreek Hill was number 1. Now you get Tyreek, that's a jaw dropper because nobody expects you to spend that kind of money. But I don't think that's what they're gonna do. Think about Judy. They invested in Judy. Would it be a jaw dropper if Judy was traded for something, some picks or something? What about, okay, jaw droppers? Jerry Judy, I'm probably going to put out a poll too. Jerry Judy or Myles Garrett or Deshaun or Shedeur being traded. It would be a jaw dropper if Shedeur was traded because you see how they're holding on to him for dear life. That's the 4. I'm putting out a poll and I'm asking y'all, let me know right now what y'all think. Shout out to Roger for that. I'm going to go with Myles Garrett. I'm going with Myles Garrett. Instead, I guess the AFC North is being given to the Bengals, and Shedeur is going to be so-called protected by Miss Pamela said, yes, Miss Pamela, you're spot on. You're spot on. You're spot on. It said Malik Willis went to Miami. Absolutely. Shout out to Malik Willis for getting the bag and going to Miami. And going to Miami, 3-year contract, $63 million, $45 million guaranteed. Shout out to Malik Willis. Seeing is believing with AB, looking with the third eye. Yeah, he cannot be trusted. AB is showing his true colors. It said, why would Deshaun go? He's healthy and they still got to pay him because they don't want to win with Deshaun. You know what? That argument is out the window that they still have to pay him. Miami owed Tua $99 million and moved off of him with the June 1st cut date, and he already is expected to sign a 1-year deal with the Falcons. Basically, they just moved Tua without telling us. They had already decided he was going to Atlanta, and they got Malik Willis over there. Now that puts him in the same division with Josh Allen, so that's gonna be interesting. Are they in the same division with the Jets? They signed somebody too. I think they signed a wide receiver. I think the Jets signed a wide receiver today. So long and short, the Browns, what grade do you give letting Devin Bush walk, signing a guy whose quarterback was sacked 54 times as an O-lineman for $49 million, which got to be one of the, not the lowest, but kind of on the low end for 3 years. No, was it $49 million? I think so, $49 million with 35 guaranteed or something like that. So it's like he get a 1.5 years guaranteed money. What do y'all think about that? What's the grade you give him? I give this grade. I think it was ridiculous to let Devin Bush walk. Again, I think something going on there. And I don't really care for the Zion Johnson because you knew he struggled with pass blocking. So I'm gonna give you a big fat F on that one. I think I gave a C for Titus. Titus' character, something about him, I think might actually be good for the locker room too. But we're gonna see. We're gonna see. And You didn't get any wide receivers because you need one. I don't know. I'm gonna give them a D. I'm giving the Browns, I'm giving the Ravens an F minus. I'm giving the Browns a D. And the Falcons for signing Tua for 1 year. A D, because they already have a quarterback. A D minus. A D minus. And the owner said Penix was a starter. A D minus. So the Browns got an F minus. The Ravens. The Ravens got an F minus. The Browns got a flat D. And the Falcons got a D minus. Yep. Because they're not trying to win. If you were strategizing to win, you wouldn't be out here running through the fire sale. You wouldn't be running through the clearance. You wouldn't be doing that. You would be out here getting Tyler Limbaum's. Monkey would have brought some people over from Baltimore. All the people that just love Baltimore, he could bring one person. Come on now. Come on now. So those are 3 teams I seemingly paying attention to closely, and it's not looking good. And they all 3 have one thing in common. Their QB1s are what? Black. All right. It said, hey, Kaysen, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? It said, I'm so tired of these QB competitions. Stefanski want any kind of drama to keep the attention off of him. Facts, Niceville. Facts. No accountability for Stefanski. I mean, why would he be different if they let him fail up and make $15 million a year and fire the guy who was better than him? Why would he be any different? Good afternoon. Good afternoon. The best podcast, Nola Queen. Thank you so much. It said, based on the trade and draft, you can see the script for next season. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I can see it across 3 teams. Don't let's start looking at the rest of them. I mean, we follow the quarterbacks anyway, so of course we will eventually get there. But the fact that the Browns did not get Kyler Murray with $1 million, less than $2 million to pay him, and no team got him today. No team got Geno Smith. Very interesting. Stay tuned for that. Why Stefanski didn't get Kyler Murray for the league minimum? What do Dylan and Tua have in common? Okay, there we go. So Stefanski on that bullshit. That again. But who thought it would be different? The Falcons fans, not me. Not me. I might be one of the only people in Atlanta that think it was any different. Me and the other Shedeur fans that are over here. Over here. Absolutely. Max Crosby will be with Lamar Jackson. Yep, he sure will. If Lamar gonna be there, because I mean, I'm sure he gonna be there. Lamar seemingly wants to stay there. So I mean, Justin Herbert threw 26 touchdowns. And he was sacked 54 times. So, you know, Shedeur was the best quarterback coming out of college. And look at his first year at Colorado, sacked 52 times. All like CJ Stroud, right? And we got somebody from Justin Herbert and somebody from CJ Stroud. Well, we got 2 people, Cam Robinson and Titus Howard. Good evening, good evening. It said Brian Flores was spot on saying that Tua is not a good quarterback. Thanks. That's why Falcons fans are asking, what the hell is Stefanski doing? That's exactly why they're asking that. It said Devin Bush probably felt it's time to leave the dysfunctional Browns while he can. Yeah, I think they sent him elsewhere. I feel like it's something about this situation makes me feel like the Browns looking out for Devin Bush. And I would love to know why. I have a theory, but I ain't gonna say it. I'm gonna see what happened when Dylan leave. All right. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? It said apparently the Browns tried to get the Ravens O-lineman, but couldn't compete with the offer. How they couldn't compete? They could compete with, you meant Tyler Limbaum? Or he didn't want to come? Tyler Limbaum, I read a story that they thought he was strong arming in negotiations because I don't think he wanted to come to the Browns. So I don't think they tried to get him. I think they tried to bring him over there for cheap, and he wasn't having it. So he went where he was valued, just like Malik Willis. I'm shocked that we didn't give Tyler Limbaum $81 million. I don't think they want to be good this year. Look at where they sent him. Protect who? Supposedly the number 1 pick overall, Mendoza. They don't value Shedeur and Deshaun. Why would I pay $81 million for a lineman? Hence the two that they have. I like Titus, no disrespect towards him. But this last one, no, no. 54 times Justin Herbert was sacked. The Steelers, Lions, and Commanders are all interested in getting Myles Garrett. Uh-oh. The Steelers? So that will be in the same division? Interesting. So, Gabe, maybe Myles Garrett is the jaw-dropping move. Maybe. Hey, Regina, welcome back. Okay, Roger, thank you for that. Appreciate that. Hey, Regina, welcome back. It said folks are making dumber moves than last season. Right. These teams being gutted. And it's going to take us to do our little checkup on all of the black quarterbacks that are QB1s to see who went missing. Right now, the fact that nobody scooped up Geno Smith and Kyler Murray for the league minimum. Let's see if they pick up Aaron Rodgers or Kirk Cousins or Russell Wilson. Or will Russell Wilson, Kyler Murray, and Geno Smith be left hanging? Somebody got to get them, right? Somebody got to get them. They got the guaranteed money. It's the league minimum. It would look weird if nobody got Russ or Geno or Kyler Murray. Now, Russ going to come with a bigger price tag. Last year, he garnered $10 million just for 1 year. So, Kirk Cousins, he should be out the equation. He just stole enough money. $300 million. For what? So, that would definitely be a jaw-dropping move if he came to Cleveland. I'd have to put him in there. There's only 4 spaces on the survey. But if he came to the Browns, I would be like, really? But I can see it. I can see it. They gonna do something else asinine. They gonna do something else asinine. And now you can't listen to nothing that's put out there about who they prioritizing. Because they said they were prioritizing Devin Bush at the very same time it was announced that Devin Bush was going to the Chicago Bears. Interesting. Hey, Bridget, how you doing? TJ Watt, Pittsburgh Steelers pass rusher. Okay, so it's TJ Watt, Myles Garrett, and Max Crosby all be staring down. Joe Burrows will be staring down the barrel at him. But if Myles Garrett moves on, I agree with, is it Roger that said that? Who said that they look like they're trying to give it to Burrow? I agree, because I don't even know who the quarterback in Pittsburgh is. Is it going to be Will Howard? Let's see who the quarterback is in Pittsburgh. Interesting. So I think you're right about that. Ravens fan here, likely was offered the same contract Andrews got a year earlier. He declined, betting on himself. Unfortunately, the Ravens have too many weapons. Western Turn. Okay, Western Turn, thank you for that. Actually, I read that likely wasn't offered a contract, and he said he would take less money to stay in Baltimore, and they didn't jump on that. They did not. Instead, he got like $500,000 more than Andrews. Andrews is 30. Likely is 25. Likely was brought in so Lamar could have somebody to throw to. All we saw happen today was the Ravens gut their offense for the most part. Not bringing back DeAndre Hopkins was underutilized anyway. Why Monkey don't bring him over to Cleveland? You do see these coaches. Look at Harbaugh bringing over Likely and the punter, but Monkey can't bring nobody. Come on now. So, yes, I do think it's LeJonte's turn, but Likely is the tight end. LeJonte would take over for DeAndre Hopkins. I'm not saying DeAndre Hopkins had to stay there. I'm saying he was underutilized last year. He's actually good and can be re-signed, and Cleveland would make sense because he's a Travis Hunter type, LeJonte type player. And we could use that. And they could get rid of Jerry Jeudy. If Miami can move off of Tua with $99 million in cap space, we can move off of Jerry Jeudy. The Browns can move off of Jerry Jeudy. They just choose not to, just like they seemingly are choosing not to move off of Batonio because they're not trying to win. I mean, we're going to see what God going to do, obviously. But we're talking about what's actually being done. And from there, you strategize on how to win despite the malfeasance, because that's what it is. That's why the Browns have probably a D or a D minus. It said NFL owners don't want to win, just make money off these talented players for a low price. AB is gonna get karma if he doesn't do the right thing by our nephew 12. He gonna get it anyway because he's not doing the right thing. Hopefully, we don't see him running up to Shedeur to congratulate him and smile in his face like he's doing a good job and stab him in the back this season, because that's definitely what that was. He ought to be ashamed of himself. Just a waste of melanin. That's just, they could just hire a white person for that. They just don't, like, what are we doing, bro? What happened to I am my brother's keeper? It's that AB getting everything he needs out the draft. I hope you're right, Anthony. It said they have 9 or 10 picks. They sure do. Let's see how many they give away to bundle up for next year. Because the Ravens already gave away, if not 1 or 2. I know 1 of their first round picks. I thought it was 2, but they gave away 1 of their first round picks already. It said trade Myles Garrett to my Chicago Bears. Aren't your Chicago Bears moving to Indianapolis somewhere? Or are they gonna stay wherever they are in the state of Illinois? Myles Garrett will be good anywhere. Honestly, anywhere. I don't know if Chicago's that place. Trading Myles would be a jaw dropper. Okay, Ramon, we'll take that. It say getting an elite O-line should be a priority, and the wide receivers. Right. And we're getting O-linemen, but the word elite, I don't think they was brought over for that. Look at who's getting paid. Look at their records. Look at their quarterbacks that they left behind. Cam Robinson, Titus Howard, and Zion. And don't be surprised if Cam Robinson and Joel Bitonio over there and they draft a first or second round center or something. Yep. Please remember, good free agents don't want to go to Cleveland. Yeah, I mean, while that's true, we're talking about the Browns and what they selling to the fans. They made space for $45 million in cap space, and they didn't get any receivers. They didn't get any elite O-linemen. Even Titus said, yeah, I kind of expected it. I know they want to go younger. So the Browns should be drafting somebody. Let's see if they do. Let's see if they draft somebody in the first round on the O-line. It would surprise me when you look at who they drafted first and second last year. It said the Browns' first round pick need to be the best left tackle coming out of the draft or right guard. We already got a right guard now. We signed a right guard today, Queen. They signed Zion Johnson from the Chargers. Was it the Chargers or the Lions? I don't know. He came from somewhere else, though. Maybe it was the Lions. It said Browns grade sell the teams. That's facts. That's facts. Devin Bush wanted to leave the dysfunctional Browns for the Bears, no matter how they was trying to up the salary. Interesting. So you think he wanted to go? Okay. Another great show. Thank you so much. Lamar is Baltimore. That's what I say. We're going to see what they're going to do. And did y'all hear about Dan Orlovsky and Lamar responded to him? Okay. For people who are new, Dan Orlovsky is a reporter, analyst kind of guy. He's played in the league. I think he was a true 5th round talent, so he wasn't that great. So he lands on the desk. I think he's at ESPN. Last year, I became familiar with Dan Orlovsky because he said things like Mike Tomlin, who's now been fired, was advised to draft the Colorado star Shedeur Sanders as QB2 behind Aaron Rodgers. And I also remember when Justin Fields escaped to New York, which is probably why they didn't let nothing good happen for him, because he made a decision for himself. At free agency, the first move was made last year was Justin Fields going to the Jets. And I remember Dan Orlovsky doing like this. What? Like he was shocked that he left because his whole goal was to make Justin the 3, Shedeur the 2, and Aaron Rodgers the 1. And now he picking on Lamar. See, I'm telling y'all, they ganging up on Lamar publicly. It's been quiet sabotage. They going full throttle. So Dan Orlovsky said, with Max Crosby over there, there's no excuse for Lamar Jackson not to go all the way. You don't never hear these conversations about Josh Allen. Lamar quips back, there's never been any excuses for Lamar. And, that's what he said. So, in other words, Lamar said he don't make no excuses. But how can Dan Orlovsky say that on the same day that they gut and take away? Honestly, they should have kept Mitchell and got rid of Derrick Henry, but Derrick Henry was seemingly proficient at dropping passes, so they keeping him. They got rid of Isaiah Likely, who they actually brought in, so Lamar could have a target because why? Mark Andrews was going missing in big games. And that's been 5 years since that was said, and it's still true. We saw it in 2023. And then they gave him a gaggle of money and didn't prioritize tight end one Likely, who's now gone with Harbaugh, for Jackson Dart. So Jackson Dart and Mendoza are getting Tyler Limbaugh, which is Lamar's center, and Isaiah Likely, which is Lamar's tight end one. Who's wide receiver one over there? Zay Flowers? Let's see. Let's see who's wide receiver one, wide receiver two, and wide receiver three. I would expect LeJontay to step into DeAndre Hopkins' space since they do not value him. But let's see. Let's see. TJ Watt on one side and Myles Garrett on the other. Pass rush to heaven. Okay, so you like Myles Garrett going to the Steelers. Do the Steelers have enough money? I heard they only had 3 bathrooms for the whole team, so they're probably not going to get Myles Garrett because they clearly don't like spending money on something. Let me know what you think. I don't know if they would do that. So you have to look at the overall strategic direction. I can probably say that right now, since let's just say Shedeur has a good game, they already know who's going to the Super Bowl. I can already see that the Falcons don't want to go. I know Carolina not going. In fact, Kenny Pickett just signed a 1-year deal over there in Carolina. So I don't know. So I guess he's going to back up Bryce. He just moved around collecting the check and not really having to work. Why they move him out of Vegas, I don't know. They're not going to give it to Bryce Young. You could see that when you watch their playoff game. And it's damn sure not going to be Baker Mayfield. And if so, Baker Mayfield called it audible because Zach Jackson, or whatever his name was, the OC from Atlanta, that, in my opinion, sabotaged Michael Penix Jr., if you watch their games, just went over there to Tampa Bay because it's time for Baker Mayfield to talk money. It's time for Lamar to talk money. Tyler Shaw. Let's see where Spencer Rattler end up this year. The Falcons not scared of their fans. I mean, the Falcons are scared of their fans. The Saints not scared of their fans. The Saints feel like last year was an experiment. They had Spencer Rattler play the most games. They even had a little raggedy competition, and Spencer Rattler won. He played the toughest stretch of the games. Then they propped Tyler Shaw up for the easiest stretch of games. Now, they shouldn't be able to use Spencer Rattler that way. They should just go head on and let all the games be played, all 18, by Tyler Shaw. And I want to see you set up and prop him up 18 times. I want to see it. I want to see the defense with his back off of him so his passes can go uncontested for 18 weeks. I want to see you do it because you did it for the little time he played last year, and they even tried to want to get him in the Rookie of the Year competition. He wasn't even quarterback of the week or nothing. Just like Arch Manning, trying to give him something he didn't earn. So I want to see. Tyler Shaw better be the starter for 18 games. Let's see who the running backs are. It's supposed to be Alvin Kamara, right? Chris Olave is still over there, right? Let's see what happened. It said Kyler Murray is injury prone. Geno is not very good, and Tua has a soft head. Well, guess what? Tua was snapped up first with a 1-year contract. I don't know how much money it is. He's not even projected to be cut until June 1st. They passed over Kyler Murray and Geno Smith, who are available for the league minimum, and nobody snapped them up. But Tua got snapped up, and he 1 concussion away from seeing. Thank you for your service. Okay. I don't think Miles is getting traded. We just said he might be the jaw-dropping move that Barry is getting ready to make because he didn't make any exciting moves today. The best protection for Shedeur is a good run game. It said, remember, Shedeur was the leading rusher in 2 games. Okay. Thank you, Newmark. We'll take that under consideration. Shedeur needs to be protected when he's in the pocket and given time to throw the ball in the pocket. And them dudes down there, the receivers need to get open. That's why they should be prioritizing receivers in the draft or free agency, but they seem to want to hold on to Jerry Jeudy and Joel Bitonio, which explains why they didn't get $81 million of a lineman, because whoever comes in for $81 million, if he the highest paid, I think he going to be the one that's running the show on the O-line. Let's see how much Bitonio get for 1 year. That could be a jaw-dropping move as well. I don't believe Deshaun's Achilles heel is holding up. Sorry. Okay, we shall see. We shall see. They restructured his contract. I think Monken may have acquiesced to Barry regarding his staff picks. It's all or nothing for Barry this year. Oh, I will agree with that. And I think Barry already, like they do in HR, you have a pre-termination date. You just don't know about it until they call you. They have already decided. You can see how they do it. Like, he looked crazy out here. Remember, what did the owner say? We're going to come out here and what? We got to do right by the fans. Are you doing right by the fans by not prioritizing your problems? He already said that they didn't pivot. He was asked about why they didn't prioritize the O-line. He said, well, we had to pivot. So, we couldn't get to it. I'm still trying to figure out what pivot is he talking about. I feel like he's talking about Shedeur playing instead of Dylan. That ain't no damn pivot. That's the best quarterback you had on the roster. And for those types of narratives, I don't like Barry. He's just Steven from the Django and devaluing Shedeur and a lot of other players that seem to be melanated. Let's see what happened with the rest of the O-line. I'm assuming KT Levinson not coming back. So nobody talking about him. Who is Quincy? Quincy is this guy that is on X. And somebody I thought told me, because I was like, who is this guy? Something like that. That was, let me look it up. And I thought somebody said that was Deshaun's Quincy Carrier. Either he played for the Browns. Who is he? Let's see. Either he played for the Browns or he's something to Deshaun in terms of quarterback coach, or he's used to play for Browns and he's just an analyst. Let's see. Quincy Carrier is a Cleveland Browns analyst and a YouTube personality known for covering the team, including detailed discussions on quarterback Deshaun Watson's performance, contract, and injury, often featured on Cleveland.com Sports for Cleveland. He provides analysis on Watson's recovery and on field as seen in his videos on YouTube. Now, why he's specific to Watson, I don't know. I think that's weird. Maybe he's not the quarterback coach. I don't know. But the point is, he was the one that said the restructure was more about, he said the restructure appears to be more about a trade. So while I would rather him be Deshaun Watson's quarterback coach than just be a regular person focused solely on Deshaun and his contract. I don't know. It's weird. But anyway, that's what he said yesterday. He said the restructuring seems to be more about a trade. So I asked the question, where do you think Deshaun should go? I haven't gone to my mentions and replies to check, but he might, I don't know him. So he probably didn't answer it. I mean, if you know it, you on Deshaun like that, I mean, I would think you know something. Just saying, that's why I asked the question. Let's see if I get an answer. So I don't know. He might have looked at that and goes, who is this? I don't know her. And keep it pushing. People do that. So it says Zion was with the Chargers. Okay, so yeah. So Justin Herbert was his quarterback. Justin Herbert was sacked 54 times in the regular season and 6 times alone versus the Patriots game. Yup. Then we let Wyatt Teller go, and that's what we got. Exposing how the NFL plantation operates, pretty much. It said Kenny Small Hands Pickett to the Panthers. Yup, he went to the Panthers. It said Dan was an awful quarterback, so he needs to keep his mouth and zipper closed when it comes to commentating about quarterbacks. Yeah, he seems to be targeting certain people. I said I was going to take time to sit down and see who it is he whines about. It might be a pattern there. So we're going to have to talk about it. It said these analysts need to talk about, they don't do that. And the black ones don't either. Nobody wants to talk about the white quarterbacks. Maybe just me. Just me. Just me. Because Kirk Cousins, bro, you ought to be serving 25 to 50 for the money you stole. And Arthur Blank, Yeah, it's time to turn over the reins and not to Matty Ice. I'm like, because either you letting Stefanski steamroll you or you was playing in your fans' face talking about Michael Penix Jr. was going to be the starter. I said, let's see who they hire. I said, well, shit, that ain't going to happen. And what's Stefanski doing? Talking the word salad. Not 24 hours after the GM, which he's clearly not aligned with, said that we're getting rid of Kirk Cousins because it's not respectful, out of respect for Michael Penix Jr. So you are saying as a GM, Michael Penix Jr. is the starter. The next day, Stefanski's like, yeah, it's too early to be giving out jobs. So Stefanski's already undermining his, once again, black GM. And now fans are mad because he decided of all the people to get, you could have got Kyler Murray, you could have got Geno Smith. They are the top free agents because Malik Willis is gone, and you get to him. So I don't want to hear anything about Jerry Jeudy can't be moved on from. Yes, he can. Yes, he can. If Tua can get dead cap space, leave dead cap space behind a $99 million, Jerry Jeudy can go. Jerry Jeudy can go. The Browns just signed who? Who the Browns signed? Spamler. The Browns are smart enough to trade Garrett to the Steelers. They were smart enough to trade Joe Flacco to a division rival. So said Mike Tomlin. The Browns are one of the smartest teams in NFL. Are you being sarcastic? I don't know. Let me know if you being sarcastic. I'm not sure. That seems like sarcasm. Isn't Dan Orlovsky the QB that ESPN have him on their blooper reel running out the back of the end zone? I don't know, but that's hilarious. Not your employer calling you out. Hit the like button, y'all. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. And don't forget to subscribe, please, so much. Now that's funny, Ramon. If that's real, if that's a thing, if he's that guy, that's hilarious. But as far as I can see, he's trash. Shedeur and Lamar. I have to look and see who else he decided to go in on. I have to check. I can't say for sure because I don't watch any of those channels. It's you just don't get, you don't get the truth. You get a narrative that they want to push. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Hype me up. Hype me up. All right, so I'm getting ready to wrap this up because I have to come back at 10:35 and we can continue this conversation. But I got to slide in a buff report. So we'll do the latest buzz at 10:35 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It said the Browns just signed a Quincy Williams. What does he do? What does Quincy? Oh, I was talking about Quincy Carrier. Who is Quincy Williams? Let's see. Quincy Williams, NFL. Let's see. He is a linebacker. Quincy Williams signs with the Browns for up to a $17 million. He's a linebacker. All-pro linebacker Quincy Williams to a 2-year deal worth of $17 million. Mike Ruttenberg coached Quincy Williams previously. So there you go. Mike Ruttenberg brought over, he's a defensive coordinator, right? He brought over a guy that he coached from the Jets. But Munkin haven't brought nobody yet. Nobody from the Ravens. Nobody. Let's see if they end up with some people from Georgia or something like that. Y'all don't think that's strange that Mike Ruttenberg just got Quincy Williams, but Munkin hadn't brought nobody over from the one NFL team he coached, Baltimore Ravens, who just always ever so close to getting to the big game with the 2-time, 3-time MVP. Let me know your thoughts about that. All right, so we'll be back tonight, guys. We got to go. Oh, Quentin Williams is his brother. Okay, cool. So his agent is likely Clutch Sports. Shout out to Clutch Sports. Shedeur doesn't have an agent. Do y'all think he need to get one now? Like Clutch Sports? What do y'all think? Let me know. We can talk about it later, but that's a good question for those that are still in the chat. Do y'all think Shedeur should get somebody like Clutch Sports or David Mulligetta? Let me know your thoughts. Oh, okay, Jimmy said it was a joke. He was being sarcastic about the Browns. Shout out to you because we was wondering. We have to check sometimes. You never know. You never know. All right, I'm gone. I asked a bunch of questions. Let me know. One is, do you think Shedeur should get an agent like Clutch Sports or David Mulligetta? Or I don't know if I asked y'all something else, but I know that's a good question. Oh, I got a survey. the survey I'm going to send out on X, and I don't think I'll put it on IG, YouTube, is what's the big jaw-dropping news? Is it a trade for, and I'm going to list the people that we talked about because I want to see what the community thinks and just people in general. All right, I'm gone. I'll see y'all back at 10:35 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This was awesome. Thanks for watching What She Said Sports. I'll see y'all later. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.